take a look at a real world problem. We have a satellite that calculates the distances and angles shown in the figure. We want to find the distance between the two cities. So we want to find this distance I'm going to call C. So notice then if I label my triangle, this would be angle C, and this would be A, making this little a, and this would be angle B, making this little b. I want you to notice what we know. We know a side, the angle, and then another side. So think about your triangles that you may have learned in geometry. You have side, angle, side. When you know a side and another side and the angle between them, then you must use law of cosines in order to find a missing side. And particularly for this one, since we're looking for little c, we're going to use that last one. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I want to point something out to you. Notice that c squared equals a squared plus b squared should be familiar to you. That's the Pythagorean theorem. And not to go too far into it, but the Pythagorean theorem is just a specialized form of the law of cosines. So let's see what we can do to find little c. Okay, so I've got c squared equals. Now, a squared is going to be 350 squared plus b squared, that's 370 squared, minus 2 times a, which is 350, times b, which is 370, cosine of 2.1. Now, I'm not going to go to my calculator just yet because I've got one more step to get the c all by itself. You'll notice the c has a square on it. So in order to undo that square, I'm going to have to take the square root of this side over here. And I'm actually going to type that all in one step in my calculator. I'll show you how I do that, but I've got to take the square root of all of that. All right, let's go to Desmos. I'm going to show you how I type that in. Now, first things first, because we are dealing with a trig function, let's make sure Desmos is in degree mode. You'll click the wrench here and make sure degrees is selected. Now, we're going to start with the square root. So I'm going to type in SQRT so that Desmos knows to put a square root in there. Then I'll start typing my expression, 350 to the second plus 370 to the second minus, now here's where I'm going to add a parentheses to do the 2 times 350 times 370 times cosine of 2.1 degrees. You see how I typed that all in one step. The only thing I added was the extra set of parentheses, and I get 23.957. Now we are asked to round to the nearest tenth. So in our case, that would be 24.0. And the units here were kilometers. So we'll add that as well.